I have given a name to my pain. The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham.
You don't really think you'll win, do you?
I'm Batman.
Hey now, welcome to episode number 8 of the Batman on Film vlog. I am the host and founder of Batman on Film, Jett Ramey. With me is my co-pilot, co-host, fellow Texan, Rick Shew. Rick, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Bill. This is our 8th vlog.
Yes.
Wow, man.
Batman on Film vlog number 8. Now, also, if you're watching this on BOF proper, you will notice all around you that Batman on Film 2.0 is up and running. And let me tell you, Rick, and you know, it was an experience, to say the least. And but you know what? Ironically, after everything it took, and there's a story in this. I'll tell the story one day, but it actually went online the day that we planned, which would be the 31st of December. But it's a story. I'll leave it. It may be a whole show of a story right there. So we're going to talk about a few things.
It's a book.
It is. I thought they were going to have to come put me in a straitjacket and carry me off to Rusk, Texas, as my grandparents used to say. Rusk is, you know about Rusk, right, Rick? You're a Texan, right?
Is there an asylum there?
There you
I don't
go.
know.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
There's one there. There's one in Tyler.
But that's, I guess when I was bad, if I was little, my grandmother would say, they're going to put me in a straitjacket over you and carry me off to Rusk, Texas, and that's what that meant. So,
I think I'm going to take that when I say that to my kids. I'm going to say Arkham.
They give you Arkham? Okay, well,
just to get it.
I was about to go there as well.
Just to get it ingrained in their head, because they are now Batman fans because of Lego Batman.
Well, speaking of which, I have something that they're going to have to see right here, Rick. Let me say, there we go. Yes,
Batman, Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo,
Awesome.
And Batman the Brave and the Bold. You can find my review on Batman on Film proper. I'm telling you, this is one of my favorite Batman animated movies ever. And if you know anything about me, I was a huge fan of Batman the Brave and the Bold. This is awesome. Yes, the premise sounds ridiculous, but it's just, you watch it. It comes out Tuesday. Read my review. Pick it up Tuesday. Watch it. You'll see what I'm talking about. All right. And Rick, get that for your kids and for yourself, because on the next podcast, next weekend, we're going to be talking about that movie. All right. Let's start with some just real quick news and some takes on it. I want to call it the shakeup, the post-Justice League shakeup, but it's not really that, because this was in the works. This stuff was in the works before Justice League ever came out. So if you want to call it fallout or shakeup, I don't know if that's the correct term. I may have used that on my story, so I was a little incorrect on that. But Mr. Walter Hamada, I believe is how you pronounce it.
Hamada, yeah.
Yes, he is now he's head of DC Film at Warner Brothers. He'll oversee that from a producer executive position. He comes to Warner Brothers from their sister company, which is New Line. He was a production executive there for about a decade. He is close to James Wan, and we know James Wan is directing Aquaman, Rick. He will oversee all DC films. He will, and it also says in the, I believe it was the Hollywood Reporter or Variety, one or the other. They all reported it. But he will oversee production of non-canonical, non-in continuity films, if that makes sense. for Warner Brothers. So it seems like they also are planning to continue this banner of DC films that are not going to be part of, say, the continuity that's been established with, you know, BBS, Justice League, and so forth. And I don't know how much they're going to be continuing with that anyway. It's a completely different discussion. So, Rick, any initial thoughts on that? Oh, real quick before I give you hear your take. Jeff Johns is, and we've talked about it before, Jeff Johns is staying on as CCO of DC Entertainment.
Creative director or something, right?
And president, he will, he's still, I mean, he's involved in the comics, the television, DC on TV, and it says he will work closely with Mr. Hamada on films, but I believe his role is going back to be more of a consultant instead of an active producer like he was on, well, Wonder Woman and Justice League. So, Rick, what's your thoughts? We knew this was coming, but so here we go.
Well, I mean, listen, my thoughts are this. I wish them all the best. I don't know enough about Mr. Hamada. I was researching him. I mean, he has an impressive resume. I mean, first of all, he's executive producer on It. That was a huge hit. The remake of Nightmare on Elm Street back in 2009 or 2010, which wasn't a big hit, but it was an interesting film. Yeah. I liked it. The Conjuring, Ronin, the Friday the 13th, whatever one he was. I mean, so he has a history, and I sort of look at it like this. You know, one of the things about horror films, and anybody that's thinking that he's going to bring a horror element to this, that's not going to happen. However, what they can do, or what he can do, is that horror films are really good about making money. They're good about turning a profit on lower budgets. And I'm not implying that going forward they're going to slash these budgets in half, but I do think that there have been some bloated budgets. Some of this has been self-inflicted. It's been reshoots and things like that, director changes. And it's not just DC. I mean, you know, Star Wars is going through that with Ron Howard's Solo. I mean, it happens in the film industry. But at the end of the day, he knows how to make a profit. And so I think there's a lot of that probably to this as well. And who knows, behind the scenes and closed doors, he probably has had some really great ideas, obviously, that has them very excited. I feel a little bad for Johns in some ways because I don't feel like I don't know, Bill, tell me if you agree with this. Did he really get a fair shake? You know?
Well,
I mean,
he's probably he was in a no-win situation with Justice League.
Right. No, I know.
And, you know, a lot of times people will say, well, just put, you know, Jeff Johns in charge. Or put, you know, let Paul Dini write and direct a Batman movie, or Bruce Timm. But not just because you're good at comics doesn't mean you are a good film producer or director or writer. It's just that's maybe I'm just, you know, look, maybe Jeff's forte, his strength is not film production. You know, he's a good what's the word I want to use?
Creative guy. I mean,
I mean, you go to him, you know, look, we're doing this. Would Batman do this? No, he wouldn't do that. Right. You know, Wonder Woman wouldn't do this. Stuff like that, I think he is great at, because he's a walking DC encyclopedia, knows the continuity and history inside out. So that's, you know, that's that. So and also John Berg has been moved. He's still at Warner Brothers. He's going to be producing other stuff. He's not involved with DC anymore. So basically, here we go. Here comes the stuff. This was coming before even Justice League was out. So don't take that as, don't think this is, oh, well, everything was fine until Justice League, and now Justice League, you know, was unsuccessful. Let's leave it at that. And now these changes are coming. Guys, they knew this was coming way before Justice League was released in November. So
they also knew that there was going to be a problem with Justice League. So.
Yeah, they knew it was coming. They knew what they had. I'm still, I mean, I'll say I'm surprised for them to get it to just okay. It's pretty remarkable, I think. You know, it's not something I want to put in and see again, really. But you know, we're not going to rehash that. But here we are. We got a new leader of DC on film at Warner Brothers. So continuing on the DC on film front. Talk a little bit about Wonder Woman 2. Just real short, Rick. Just want to get our takes on here's what Patty Jenkins said about Wonder Woman 2. I'll just read the quote. And I got this was from Entertainment Tonight online.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Patty Jenkins is going to be she's director of Wonder Woman, is director of Wonder Woman 2. We're actually making a totally different film. It's its own movie completely, and there's some other stuff around it, but that's the gist of it. What does that tell you, Rick?
I try not to dive too much into just these anecdotal quotes or anything, but with this one, I think it's telling. I think there is some foreshadowing, if you will, with this. I think she's letting us know. Look, I'll say it like this. They are fully aware that there has been backlash and problems with the DC EU universe. We will not even refer to it that way anymore anyway, right? What do you like to call it? Ladcoff. Ladcoff. Jeff Johns is now just calling it DC Films, right? Wasn't that in that last quote? Whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like an announcement where that's what they're calling it. It's just whatever, you know.
Regardless, this is just one more director. James Wan is another one to reference, and in a lot of ways, Matt Reeves. We'll get to that in a moment. That has made it pretty clear that these films that they're taking the helm on are going to be their own thing. That they're not. To me, what it strongly implies is that we're not going to be concerned with the continuity per se. We're certainly not going to be concerned with the expanded universe. It's going to be its own film. It's going to be contained. It's going to be in its own bubble. And I think that's great. I think that's great for.
And the important thing is they're not going to be setting up other movies. They're not advertisement for another DC movie. They're not an advertisement for a team-up film. They are their own thing. I mean, that's the best way to put it, you know?
Let Marvel do that. They do it great. Look, when I saw the new Avengers trailer and the Guardians of the Galaxy crew shows up at the end, you know, I smile. I'm like, cool, I can't wait to see it. Like, that's just what all that is, and it's great, and I love it. But let DC be, man, we've said this a million times, and just let them all stand on their own. They are far more interesting than any character outside of maybe Spider-Man and Marvel anyway. Let them stand on their own. They need to be on their own. That's a compliment to them and to DC mythology. It's not an insult. Like, Marvel is popcorn, great fun, and they do it brilliantly. I mean, my God, they're brilliant. Let DC be DC, and I think we'll all be better off for it.
Yeah, I agree. All right. So, speaking of Wonder Woman, the fact it was set in during World War I, so we're talking about the 19-teens, right before the 1920s rolled around. And then Wonder Woman 2 is supposed to be a Cold War, 1970s, 80s, whatever, that era setting. Mm-hmm. And I wore this shirt on purpose, if y'all can see it. This is very old school logo for the Batman. Very 1939-ish, 1940-ish. I think it was actually used on the great Michael Uslan's, what was his little Batman black and white? Oh, Batman Silent Night, Unholy Night. It's actually, it's like, it's done like an old silent movie or an old, you know, black and white 1930-ish movie. It's pretty awesome. And the reason why I wore it is because, and this is not news, y'all. It's not nothing that I'm reporting or Batman on Film is reporting. It's just we're having fun with an idea. What if you put, Batman was created in 1939, okay? Detective Comics number 27, 1939. Case of the Chemical Syndicate. What if you actually made a Batman movie and set it in 1939? And it kind of used that old, you know, that Bob Kane original type aesthetic. I mean, you would have to, I mean, I wouldn't want to go around wearing tights or anything, but I mean, that, you know what I'm talking about here. Set the son of a gun in 1939, 1940, 40, somewhere in that early, you know, that period of, you know, early World War II, gangsters in the United States and all this stuff. And Rick's really been taking, you're taken to this idea, no?
I'm kind of borderline obsessed with this idea. And here's where it began for me. So Humberto Gonzalez, right?
Yes.
He picked up there's an artist by the name of John Reagan, okay, and we started following one another on Twitter. Follow John Reagan. I don't have his Twitter handle in front of me, but find him. He's awesome. But Umberto, he mocked up this 1939 Jake Gyllenhaal Batman of what he could possibly look like in a film set in that time period, and it just blew my mind. And since then, he and I have been corresponding. He's actually modified it and brought the cowl down a little bit, and it looks like the original drawings of Batman via his initial official release. And he's pulling up quotes. I mean, Umberto is a legitimate guy, man. He shared this for a reason himself. He was pumped about it. But he was bringing up quotes, John Reagan was, about from Matt Reeves, saying that he wants to do this Hitchcockian style of Batman, very detective-driven film noir. And these are his words. And we do know, you and I especially know, that it is. We know that Matt Reeves has met with Gyllenhaal more than once. We don't know if that's going to be official yet or not. I don't even know the most recent updates on that, but I do know they've met. Count me in on Team Bat Jake, just for the record, by the way. But regardless if it's Jake Gyllenhaal or whoever, the aesthetic, the look was so appealing, and I thought to myself, is that what this needs? Is that what the Batman on film in cinema needs? Is that let's do something very different. Like, you think about it, and the artist talks about the high-techness and the armor and everything, how it's just kind of gotten carried away and away from the original character. He wants to make him more like a Night Stalker. And you take Matt Reeves' comments that he's alluded to, and you really start putting it together in a stew, man. It starts tasting really good. And look, what are they going to do? And they may go this route, and that's fine, and I'll embrace whatever they do, and I'll support it.
I mean,
but
it's
a fun idea. But think about it. We're going to have to come up with a new car, whether he reboots his Batman or not. If it's kind of technically semi in the universe, he's going to give his new Batman a new car. We know he's going to have a new Batman. He's going to get a new car, right? Why go through all that where you have to outdo the last one and make it bigger and badder and more? Just why don't we go back to basics?
Yeah.
Batman. We don't need to have him in tights per se, but you could certainly have a quasi armor, but a little bit more subdued and simplistic, and really relying on his detective skills and becoming more creative because he doesn't have the technology at his fingertips. You could do some really interesting things with the characters. One of our Twitter followers was talking about what you could do with Oswald Cobblepot in the late 30s and this game. I mean, my mind starts racing.
Oh,
I think it's
down,
fantastic.
Dude. Yeah, I'm on board. And look, like you said, if Matt Reeves makes it and it's a contemporary film set in today, that's fine. But
sure.
just because it's 1939, doesn't mean you can throw in some anachronisms where things that didn't exist in the 1930s or 40s can still exist in his film. I mean, it's fantasy anyway. But yeah, I'm down with it. Check out the picture on Batman on Film. I know it was on Heroic Hollywood originally. That's the original source. Looks cool. I mean, it's the whole original. The big ears that kind of go out.
And not just look at it. Go to my Twitter. Yeah, pull it up. Go to, because his right modified. Yeah, do it. There we go. Yeah, I mean that's what he looks like.
Yeah.
And the modified version he made, and he made it via corresponding with me, which I was very humbled by. And he brought his cowl down a little bit and everything. It's even he made it
mega-mindish at the beginning. But,
well, he made it even.
Yeah, I saw the update. It was cool. Yeah,
it's very cool. But anyway, so listen. Bottom line is this: we're going to support Matt Reeves, whatever he does. I would be completely on board with something like this. It would really make it unique. And he needs to put a stamp on it. And I think that you start with this and something like this, at least, it could really help make everything fall in place in a more original format.
Yeah. All right. So, look, what do you think about it, guys? Let us know. Look below down here in the comments, either on YouTube or, and discuss down, scroll down the page. Down at the bottom, you'll find discuss comments. We'll have a discussion about it. We're talking about it on the Batman on Film fan group. If you're not a member via Facebook, there's a link. You can find it on Batman on Film proper up at the top in the top menu. Rick, do you like What do you think about Batman on Film 2.0? You like it?
I think I did a great job with that site. I think you did an amazing job. I appreciate.
No, I'm not.
No. I'm not. I know you're not. I'm doing it anyway. I think that you created something very special. Justin obviously had some contribution to that as well. We need to thank him for his ideas. Dude, I go to that every time you post an article now, and I pull it up on my phone. I'm just looking at it and go, God, this is so much better. It makes me want to go to the site again, as opposed to just going to the Facebook page or going to the Twitter handle, whatever. Yeah. It's great.
I'm proud of it. I'm very happy to finally get this out, So
yeah.
But speaking of which, and I did allude to the fact that there was some drama and there was some technical difficulties getting the site up, but thank goodness, I was able to get it up, and I had needed a little help, and I had to hire help, and I want to thank all of our Patreon supporters because I had that resource available. So Ed, Peter, Jordan, Alex, Dan, Mauricio, thank you for your contributions. Trust me, every bit of that is going directly into Batman on Film, whether it's pay for hosting, paying for the podcast, paying for these vlogs, software update, paying to back up the website. Okay, that costs a little bit, stuff like that, but it all is all part. It helps. It really does. I appreciate it. And if you are keen to support us in that manner, you can find us at patreon.com/BatmanOnFilm. All right, Rick, let's plug some stuff. Go ahead, dude.
I don't have anything out right now with my political side or anything necessarily new, but if you're into politics, please go to Left Shew Politics. Follow us there, YouTube. Like the channel, please. Go subscribe. Go to Facebook, Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, Shewrick, SHEWRICK. And go and check out the last podcast we did on Star Wars on December 26th. If you have seen The Last Jedi, it's completely spoiler. We have a roundtable discussion on The Last Jedi. It's a very fiery debate. I'm very proud of that episode, so check it out. It's on BOF proper, but it's our Star Wars satellite episode.
And Twitter.
Oh, I said it already. I'll say it again.
Okay.
Yeah, at Shewrick.
At Shewrick. Okay. You can follow me at Batman on Film. Check out Batman on the new Batman on Film, Batman on Film 2.0, whatever you want to call it. Spread the word. Get a friend over. Pull them over. If they haven't been to Batman on Film for a while or never been on Batman on Film, bring them over. We do things differently than you would find elsewhere. We respect the studio, we respect the artists, we respect the actors, we respect the process of making these films. No spoilers. We don't post illicit nonsense. We don't post bootleg video and any of that nonsense. I try to run an upstanding and a site that people can respect.
We're just a bunch of normal guys, man.
Yes.
We talk like normal guys. When you come on our show, it's not I don't know it's hard to really put into words, but I just feel like it's very real and very natural. So come check us out.
Hey, look, what you see here is us. So
this is us in a bar.
Yeah, it is. Yes,
it is.
We would be drinking, and it's too early in the morning for that.
You and I would be f-bombing every other word.
Yes.
We try not to do it on vlogs. I try not to do it here, but I'm pretty bad at it.
All right.
I was so excited yesterday about this whole Matt Reeves thing. I was like, set that mother effer in 1939. Anyway. I'm just all over it, man.
Right here,
dude.
That Batman.
I'm telling you, I don't want to get. I don't know why I'm getting emotionally invested in this. This is fan made between you and I and John Reagan.
This is us. We are.
But it does.
We're fanning out or geeking out over this premise.
But Matt Reeves quotes are. This is applicable to his. Anyway.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay. Again, Scooby-Doo, Batman Brave and the Bold. Check out my review of Batman on Film. Justin Kowalski is at the premiere today in Hollywood. Batman on Film got invited. Of course, I'm in Texas, so is Rick. It's kind of tough to get out to the left coast on that short of a notice, but luckily we got Justin out in Southern California, so he is driving over from Riverside. He's probably there already or on his way, and he hopefully hopefully he will be getting an interview with the great Diedrich Bader, who I'm still trying to get on the Batman on Film podcast or blog to talk Batman the Brave and the Bold. So looking forward to seeing what Justin has in store once he finishes. And it's a cool deal. You can bring your whole family. So he's bringing his wife and his 2 kids, and they're all going to watch the movie today. And there's some press stuff, that I got him hooked up with. So that's going to be fun. All right, so that will do it, Rick.
Well, let me say this real quick. You were talking about Justin, and then we'll wrap it up here. You and I and Justin and Ryan are going to have a meeting here pretty soon, but we've already kind of talked about preliminary. I just want to kind of plant the seed with everybody. We have a lot of exciting things this year, too, guys. Stick with us, okay? And we know it's going to be maybe a slow year for Batman on film news, but then again, maybe not. Stuff could start really coming out about the Matt Reeves thing tomorrow. Yeah. We don't know. But in the meantime, we're going to really hit it hard with all kinds of interesting things. Ryan Haas and Justin are going to lead the charge on comic book centric shows, podcasts, merchandise, toys. They're gonna really lead the charge on commentaries. It's not my thing at all, but I love that they do it, and I love that people love them, and I think it's great for BOF that we have that. So thank you, Ryan and Justin, for that. You and I are going to focus on doing a lot more vlogs, and I'm going to focus on doing a lot more satellite shows.
Yes.
And there's a dog barking.
There's a dog barking in the background.
We just blew our cover that we're not in a multi-million-dollar studio, Bill.
I know. What was I going to say? The dog barking has made me lose my train of thought. But yeah, a lot of good stuff coming on Batman on Film in the future. Video stuff. Look forward. I am loading some of the old classic stuff, some of the stuff I am most proud of from Batman on Film's 20-year history. Yesterday I posted my interview with Chris Nolan that I did in 2008, June of 2008, for The Dark Knight. And
your interview with Uslan, with Michael Uslan?
Michael Uslan, yesterday. It was it was from 2014. It's for the 25th anniversary of Batman. I've got several others with Michael that I will eventually put up. We're going to get back to doing, I'm catching up. I'm reloading the previous Batman the Animated Series reviews we did. And once we catch up, which should be just in a couple of weeks, we'll start picking that back up again. So anyway, more stuff that we can talk about in this vlog. So again, follow Rick at Shew Rick on Twitter, me at Batman on Film. Batman on Film, authoritative, definitive,
and the dadgum original.
We'll see you next time.
Peace, guys.